I think that's all.
Oh,
So
recording. Are you recording?
we are recording this starting now. So we'll send this recording out to everyone that participated. So
1 second.
while we're just making sure we're all engaged, let's try this mirror game. So try to do what I do for a second.
You get enough light on you? We see you.
Gotcha. All right. So the whole purpose of this meeting was to try to introduce this concept of, we call it the unofficial start. So I'm going to attempt to share a little PowerPoint here. And you all actually got to experience an unofficial start, which was the must choose game. So we actually used an unofficial start with you because it's been really frustrating for us as teachers to start content and then have 4 or 5 people join in later, and then you feel like you have to start over. And so if I'm looking at the time right now, it's actually 14 minutes past the hour. So we spent a good 5 to 7 minutes playing a game, and that allowed people to come in a little bit late, and we are also, as teachers, able to start the content with the majority of you here. So a few questions that you may be asking, or you may be feeling, is you might be feeling the same way as we do, where you're not, you hate when people show up late. It can be really frustrating, right? Also, as a teacher, you might be finding that there's just not enough time to get in all the content that you want during the class. And the unofficial start can actually be really powerful if you're connecting the unofficial start to whatever content you're teaching that day. So you could use the must choose game to use somehow apply that to whatever you're teaching. And then this is really important, is when you do these unofficial starts, it's really going to put the responsibility on the students for showing up on time. We know from experience, if you wait to start teaching and actively engaging with your students, and you wait for those few people who are showing up late, then they're trained to show up late. Where if they show up and have that feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm late to class, that's what we want. And you actually can respond to that like, no, you're not late, you're here. And they'll be more excited about showing up early if they know that they're going to be engaged right away. All right? So if you've answered yes to any of those questions, you're in the right place. We are big believers in this unofficial start, and they really can change your lesson plans so much. All right? So our purpose for today, our learning objective for us, we want to just give you a few ideas of games you can play. These games can be used across multiple grade levels. We've tried to include today 4 different games that address different age levels, but really, we really want you just to understand the idea behind the unofficial start, and we know that you're all super creative and we'll come up with lots of ideas. I want to just take a quick moment too to know most of today, because there's so many of you, it's going to be mostly Anna and I talking. But if you have questions, we're going to have a question and answer session at the end, and you can start typing in the questions at the chat, and we'll try to answer those as many of those as we can.
And we can be available through email also after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what is an unofficial start? Well, it's a strategy that facilitates early engagement and interaction and amplifies the productivity of your group and program, which we kind of talked about. So let's try another game out, all right, shall we?
Let's do it!
All right, so this is called Prediction, and what we've got is a deck of cards here. Now, the object of this game, Prediction, is to try to guess what this card is not. And so I'm just going to call out a random name, and you have the option of telling me what you think this card is not, or you can say pass. If you don't feel like answering, just say pass. So I'm going to start with Coach Anna. Anna, what is this card not?
That card is not a 4.
Let's see if she's right. It's not. It's a jack. Good job. All right, we're off to a running start. All right.
Do Gretchen.
Frank from Imago Day Middle School. What is this card not?
It's not a 10.
All right, let's see if we got it. He's right.
Frank, you're a
Yeah.
genius!
If someone gets it right, let's give them some snaps.
Yeah,
Snap it up. Okay, we're going to go down to Mark J. Mark J, what is this card not? Let me unmute you, Mark. Go for it.
Try again.
So if you know, Mark J, if you would unmute yourself, you got this.
Not a 10.
Oh, good thinking, because Frank just guessed that. It's not, it's a 2.
All right!
Yeah. All right, snap it up. We're going to go to Megan.
Megan.
There's probably a few Megans. Megan A.
Hi, Megan.
Let's go ahead. There you go, Megan.
It's not a jack.
Nice. It's not, it's a king. Snap it up.
I got worried.
All right, we're going to go to
Oh, do Berlin.
Berlin.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the unmute. Make sure you're unmuting yourself.
It's not an ace.
Oh, snap. All right, let's go to Miss McBride.
Where is she?
She says 4. And she is
Oh, she says
correct.
3.
Oh, she said 3. Well, she's
Oh,
still right. It's
right.
6.
She's still right.
Let's see. Maybe we'll get through this whole deck. All right, let's go to
Miss Dunscombe.
Miss Dunscombe.
Our participants not? Oh, sorry, Miss
Yeah, they
Dunscombe.
can't. All right, Mrs. Dunscombe. You unmute yourself.
It's not an ace.
Oh, it's not. It's a 7. Now, it doesn't matter. I saw a question about suits. It doesn't matter. The suit doesn't matter. All right, let's go to Jill. Mana.
Oh, right. Well, she was drinking water.
5. She says 5. It's not. It's a king.
Oh, we are awesome at this game, Kevin.
We're going.
This is the best group ever.
Let's go to Annie from City High.
Oh, where are you, Annie?
She's right there.
Oh, hey, Annie.
Oh,
hey,
and
Jacob.
Jacob.
It's not a joker.
I should have mentioned the jokers have been taken out, so try again.
It's not a 2.
It's not. It's a 9. We're snapping it up. All right, we'll do a few more. Obviously, you could try to go through the whole deck, but let's do Rebecca Lipson.
Yes. So I was the one that said the thing about the suit. So we can be flexible in our thinking and say it's not a heart.
Oh, let's see.
Woo! Nice, Rebecca.
I like the variation.
Yeah.
It's not a heart. It's
We all-
a 3 of clubs.
Oh, Kevin, you're so good at this. We also had a suggestion. You could do this with flashcards, right? You could do this with letter identification. What else could you do this with? Times tables. Blech. Right? Like, you could do it with a lot of different things. Shapes, any kind of thing that works. For little kids, it would be really easy. For bigger kids, you could do it like this. You can start leveling it up where they have to guess what suit. That makes it harder, right? Because that's 1 out of 4.
Yeah. So another thing is to mention, so that everyone can be stress-free today, is that I'll send you this whole PowerPoint presentation. I can send you all some resources, some printouts. So just enjoy this time playing the games, and just know we've got you covered. We'll send you everything you need, so you don't have to write furiously everything down. All right. So that's prediction. Now, because of time, if someone were to guess wrong and say it's not a 6 and then it's a 6, then you just laugh and you can start over, or you can move on. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So let's do this.
Good idea from a wonderful social worker out there. You could do this with feelings, right? If you have feelings cards or even picture clues, something like that. You could do a lot of social emotional kind of things through this. Good suggestions. Thank you, Carrie.
All right. You're also going to notice we're going to be playing transition games, and that's not really the topic today, but I want to make sure we're keeping everyone engaged. So I got a handkerchief here. So here's what I'm going to ask everyone to do is when the handkerchief is in the air, I want to hear everyone laughing hysterically. And then when I catch the handkerchief, I need you to be silent. Ready? I can't hear you laughing. When the handkerchief's in the air, I need to hear you laughing. Awesome. All right, we're going to move on. Okay, so let's see what we got next.
Oh, no one can hear anyone because everyone was muted.
Yeah.
Boring.
All right, so that game was called Prediction. Now, something to note about these unofficial starts is these strategies, they're not only inviting the people to turn up on time and be quickly engaged, but they can also be really an important time to build relationships with the people you're working with. And to kind of show a demonstration of that, we're going to play a game called Dice Breakers. Now, for this game, you're going to need just a die, a simple die, just one. Dice. And if you don't have dice, there's a lot of apps out there, online apps that like a virtual dice. So here's how this game works. I'm going to roll the dice. And what I got was the number 5. And so the question I would ask all the participants, and if you want to answer this in the chat, you're welcome to, is what do you like most about where you live? And there's a typo there. Sorry about that.
We here.
What do you like most about where you live is what it's supposed to say. And then you can, again, ask people to chat. You could, if you have a small group, people can just start having a discussion. People can raise their hand, and you can have a conversation about the places that you live, right? And I see in the chat that someone is sharing, let's see. Well, anyways, there's definitely a lot of apps out there. All right. So look at number 2. See, some people are already answering some of these questions. All right, let's roll the dice again. I get a 3.
So the question for number 3, so the question that would correlate with this, and like we've done this where we don't show the questions because kids like to, like some of you are already going number by number. So Coach Kevin, you would just see Coach Kevin and he would be showing you the dice and then he would be asking that question for kids to answer, for people to answer.
That's right. The kids are the participants who you're working with wouldn't see this little chart. They would just see the dice and then you would ask the question. So 3 is what is one talent you wish you had? And again, these questions, you could change these questions in so many different ways and connect it to the content. So let's do one more. You roll the dice. We got the number 5 again now. So we'd have to re-roll and we get a 6. And so the question would be, what really exciting thing would you love to do? All right.
So Kim had a really good question. Are all students answering simultaneously? So it depends on the size and age of your group. So like with a group this big, people are sending their answers into us privately in the chat. You could also make the chat public and everyone can see everyone's answers. Or you can have them shout out. So like I work a lot with kids 1st grade and younger. So I just leave them unmuted. We have smaller groups and it's a little chaotic, right? Or I choose to unmute them one at a time. That works great for that age group. For high schoolers, you can barely get them to answer, right? Like, so maybe you have to force them to answer. It's just different. Each group of kids is different, and the size matters a lot. So.
Yeah, and we'll hit on this in a little bit, but these unofficial starts, it's challenged by choice. And so a lot of times you're not going to get a lot of people answering and participating, and that's okay. Sometimes just listening is going to be really a good way for kids to start connecting. And a lot of kids learn, we know this, by listening and watching. And we strongly believe in challenge by choice. And I know it's hard sometimes. We want to like force our hand a little bit and get kids to push themselves. But in our experience, when you give kids the challenge by choice option, and let me be clear, it doesn't mean that you get to not participate. It means that you can participate in a way that you feel is safe for you. And so yes. All right. So with older grades 4 and 5, maybe they could create the dice game and run it as they learn how to do it. Absolutely. And they could take turns. So there's so many cool different variations with the dice game and the type of questions you can ask.
See what smarties you are? You are already coming up with ways to make this work for the groups you work with, right? And if you're someone who teaches, let's say, music to K-5, then you have a lot of different opportunities to try this in a lot of different ways, right? And if you're doing small groups or breakouts, you can have them do it in pairs or in all kinds of smaller segments. So that's a great solution to, if you have larger groups, breaking them into smaller groups. Because kids are getting really fluid with Zoom, and so they're getting good at doing things together and initiating play. It also helps give you a break from being the initiator of play and kids giving a chance to lead their own groups. So, what's next, Coach Kevin?
All right, let's see what we got next. All right, so in our experience, here's some of the most powerful unofficial start activities. So they offer multiple choices to be engaged. So we talked about honoring people's choice no matter what they choose to do or not. Unofficial start games, they require low or no supervision, and they are immediately attractive. And this is so important, they're non-threatening. And so that is a really important thing, is if you ask some really vulnerable questions at the beginning or the games feel threatening or embarrassing, definitely kids might not want to participate at all. So you want to make sure they're attractive to everybody. All right.
Yeah, we all know that fun is the way to get kids hooked, right? And like, and it also depends, something that may not be threatening to younger kids, like singing a song or doing a finger play, may just be the most intimidating and terrifying thing for a 9-year-old or a middle schooler, right? So, developmentally appropriateness. Okay, next.
All right, so here's another option for an unofficial start. So again, we're imagining that class hasn't started yet. You've started your Zoom meeting. Kids are starting to filter in, and you can have these alphabet equations up. And I'm going to do the first one for you so this makes sense. So 26 equals L of the A, which means 26 equals letters of the alphabet. So now it's your turn. Let's see how many of these you can solve. And what we're going to ask you to do is type in the chat the answers. So 7 equals W of the AW. And we're going to give you 20 seconds to type in the chat the answers. Let's see how smart we are.
And sometimes puzzles are easier for some people, right?
Yeah, puzzles can be tough.
And the more we do puzzles, the better our brain gets at puzzles. So I'm wondering if Mr. Rodarte will answer this one.
Oh, nice job, Kim. Good guess, Melinda.
That's what I guessed, Melinda, but
Nice
not quite,
guess,
almost
Julie.
there.
Laura Eder got it right. All right, here we go. Time is up. 7 wonders of the ancient world. Here's your next one. 6 equals S on a H. I'll give you a hint. We're working on math unit. This is our geometry unit.
Oh, I know.
Nice, Justine. Nice, Tony.
There we go.
Yes, Miss
Yeah.
McBride. Oh, man, Ross, you got
Nice,
it.
yeah.
Look at all these people. All right, the answer was clear.
Warm it up.
6
warm it up.
sides on a hexagon. All right. 8 equals P in our SS. Keep it
knows.
clean, please. Keep it clean. No potty talk.
But it's fun.
Oh, yes, yes. We're getting the hang of it now. Nice job, Lee and Raleigh
I'm
and
alive,
Megan.
awake, alert, enthusiastic. Your brain is waking up.
8 planets in our solar system. All right, let's try a really difficult one, maybe. 32 equals DF at which WF?
What do you think that one? You know that one?
Yes, Chandlers.
Woo! Yeah, Annie.
Got it, Janelle. Annie got it. Tony, nice. Kim, nice. Thomas. Yes.
Thomas, funny answer.
Thomas, you jokester. 32 Del Fargos at which Wells Fargo? I love it.
I love those Del Fargos. They're my favorite.
Del Fargos.
They're delicious with avocado.
All right, here's the answer. Degrees Fahrenheit at which water freezes. All right. So that was one other game option. Now, this is really important. And we've talked about this a lot today. It's not really just a game or activity. Now, I'm not saying that games and activities aren't great, But if we are really looking to leverage the time, we want to try to connect the unofficial start to the lesson we're about to teach. And some people call that integrating or cross-pollinating, right? So what we're going to show you for this last game is more for the lower elementary pre-K age group, and it's called the tray game. And many of you may have seen this. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to share a screen. And what we're going to show you on this screen is a tray. And how this relates to lower elementary and pre-K and kindergarten is everything's labeled. So I want you to take 30 seconds to notice all the things on the tray. And if you want to read them out loud, you can.
Sure. So, can you hear me? I'm not gonna depend on my. Okay. Can you hear me? All right. So, I see a plum, a pen, a leaf, a rock, a ball, some tape, a fork, a spoon, and a feather. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 objects.
All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to ask Coach Anna to turn off her screen for a moment. And now she's going to remove one of those items. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. She turns back on the screen and something's missing. Type in the chat what is missing. Oh man, some of you are super fast. Now we have it privately set on our chat so that we only see it, and that helps other learners learn and don't see the answer right away. If you're working with pre-K, obviously they can't type in the chat, so you may want to have a signal like, all right, when I hold up my hand, shout out the answer, or when I say the magic word potato, shout out the answer, and that gives kids time to think before they shout it out right away. So Coach Anna, show them what was missing. It was the fork. All right, let's play one more time. All right, so we were going to remove something else. The fork is back, and now something else is going to be missing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is missing now? Oh, nice work, nice work. And the answer was leaf. All right, so the leaf was missing. All right, now for older kids, you could have more items. Another variation is this time, Coach Anna's not going to remove anything. She's just going to switch some of the objects. So now it's not guess what's missing, it's guess what's changed or guess what's swapped. So go ahead, take 10 seconds to study. 10 seconds to study. And go ahead, switch something, Coach Anna. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What has switched? 2 of the items switched. And we have a lot of answers. You were right, it was the plum and the ball. And let me just say this again, younger kids will not be able to type, and so they'll just have to shout it out. You may want to have a signal, like a piece of paper that says, you know, time to answer, or some sort of signal that's so they know when it's appropriate to shout out. Yeah, so a question is, how are we doing this with technology? We are fortunate enough that we have a laptop, which you see my face on, and Coach Anna is using her iPad. So Anna is over here. Oops. There's Coach Anna.
I'm on the floor.
She's on the floor with her laptop. And so Per iPad, I'm sorry. So you do have to have kind of multiple devices for this to work. Something I've done in the past, and it's a little less engaging, but you can have just a slide with objects. So I've done this before with slides. So basically, you just make a slideshow and you put a bunch of different clip art, and then you delete one of the clip art and then show the screen again, and something's missing. So that's that. And yes, we were both logged into the meeting at the same time.
Yeah, you can. It took us a while to figure that out, but you can use multiple devices and log in. And I teach a lot of. Oh yeah.
And then we'll show you what she's using to hold it up. And you can have 2 webcams. You're right. You could do geometry shapes. I'm seeing a lot of good ideas.
Yeah, and I teach a lot of art classes, and so I point down so I can do close-up so kids can see my hands at work. This is actually a telescope tripod. You can use any tripod. Then we ordered this iPad grabber guy on Amazon, I guess, probably. And then you can turn it. It's really been a great investment. You can turn the iPad down like this to use the camera. You can do a lot of different things. We've experimented. I use my phone sometimes just for simplicity.
Yeah. So we're getting lots of other
kitchen
ideas.
wire rack.
You could use a kitchen wire rack. A digital camera would work if you plug it into your
tell
device.
me what you're using. I'm always looking for better ways of doing that. Yeah, a phone
Awesome.
can be a document camera. It's essentially a document camera. Right there.
All right.
I'm also parenting right now, as you are probably. Okay.
So we're kind of running towards the end of the time. So
No.
let's do this. Here's some other ideas, and we're going to kind of co-create this document. Other ideas for unofficial starts could be a collaborative drawing. So there's that whiteboard feature when you do a group share and you can let kids draw, do a collaborative drawing. You could have a drawing prompt. You could read a story. You could show a video. Again, these stories and videos can connect to the content. Riddles and jokes have worked really well for us.
Hey, Coach Kevin. What did one wall say to the other wall?
What did one wall say to the other wall? I don't know. What?
I'll meet you at the corner.
What
Hey, Coach Kevin. What
Yes?
kind of tree fits in your hand?
What kind of tree fits in my hand? I don't know.
Well, a palm tree, of course. Not everyone has a straight guy hanging around their house to be their their foil. So you can use and also kids. Like I've had kids write jokes, and then we share their jokes at the beginning of the next class. That's really fun. I also use for unofficial starts a lot of times. National Geographic has an animal quiz that has like 3 answers. And I have taught classes this summer where I've had a huge range in ages, and so quizzes like that were really great for, and they just shouted them out. It wasn't a big deal. There was no problem with that. So I just screen shared that quiz, and then we answered it together. It was really fun. Bring your pet. Yes, that's everyone's favorite, isn't it, Mr. Rodarty? No matter how much we do, really nobody can outshine a dog or a cat on a Zoom share, which is like a really great way also to connect with your students while they're at home too. Oh, Crouching Tiger, golly, that's the best game.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. So that would be
We got
another meeting.
Another PD for you, Gretchen. You know them all, but Coach Kevin, did you invent that game?
I did invent the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon game, but it was definitely based on past experiences with other games. But again, we'll have to have another PD for other games. I'm going to make this smaller because a lot of great answers are coming in. I try to change the chat so everyone can see these. Go Noodle is, if you just search Go Noodle, it's a YouTube channel. It's very engaging, and it has lots of movement and dancing and call and response songs, and it's really fun.
Oh, Guess What's in My Hand, or you did Guess What's in My Bag. That was a really, that's
so that's a good one.
Good idea. Oh, Kahoot's fun too. Good idea, Melinda. Oh, so someone had a question, how could we play music? So let me show you the setup for that too. We have this little fuzzy mic. And then we just have I can't say her name, but she's our robot assistant music lady right here. And Coach Kevin just puts the mic right up to that and plays music fairly loud at the beginning of the meeting, and everyone else is muted. So because we tried to solve that a lot of ways, whether we could integrate music into the meetings and things like that. So I found that music, and he teaches a lot of like movement classes, and music can really help that be less intimidating and a little bit more welcoming and softer. So music is a great tool if you can use it. Fingler.
So yeah, there's lots of good ideas coming. And again, some people are asking if we're recording. We are recording. We did mess up and we did not record the unofficial start that we used. The must choose. Oh, guess the location is a good one.
Oh, you know what? For those of you suggesting breathing games, there is such a neat one that I learned. So you put your hand like this. I'm mirrored wrong. Okay, and this is a new one because I have this really great book called Coping Strategies. It's a coping skills workshop or workbook for kids. So when we go up, take your hand like Johnny Whoops, that hand. And then we're going to go up, and when we go up the finger, we're going to breathe in, and when we go down, we're going to breathe out. So let's do it together, okay? So we're starting at the bottom of our hand, we're feeling our hand, we're feeling our finger. We're going to inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Doesn't that feel good? Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last one. Oh, how lovely. Lovely. That's a nice cheap trick you can throw in anywhere into your lesson too. It really helps ground everybody.
Well, my friends, our fellow teachers, we are just about out of time. And Miss Gaskell, Kim Gaskell, you are right. I had a slide that said, don't forget to record. And I still forgot to record, but that's a good idea. So this was just kind of like a little sneak peek at Unofficial Starts. I can't take credit for learning about this stuff. I'm going to share with you where I found all this stuff. It's called Playmeo. So if you want to write that down, Playmeo, it is a paid subscription. So I pay money to be part of Playmeo, but they have a lot of good free stuff. And this is where I learned about Unofficial Starts and why we started using them at Playformance for even in-person things. And we just transferred it to the Zoom. I know there might be a lot of questions out there. You all know where to find us. We both have emails, Kevin@playformancetucson.com, Anna@playformancetucson.com. You can email us questions about anything. We're always happy to share. If you want Coach Anna and I to visit your classrooms this year to kind of do something different, we're happy to join your classrooms and do some games and movement with your kids. Just let us know. We're really excited about our virtual options this year, so just keep in touch with us. And thank you so much for joining us. We put Anna yesterday morning was like, hey, we should do a free workshop for teachers, and we put it up and we got a really good response really quickly. So we just are so thankful for you all. And just remember, everyone, you can do this. We can do this.
We can do this.
So thank you, everybody. We'll see you later. We'll be in touch we'll send you the meetings. We'll send you some resources. I'll send you this slideshow so that you have everything you need. And hope you all have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you.